So what we're going to do is give an example of how to use the AI assistant that was created from the GPT-3 algorithm effectively in mediation. One of the things that a mediator has to do first is really understand the scope of mediation. And doing that, you can do that by essentially creating a questionnaire. And so here we have the part of the system that allows you as a mediator to create a questionnaire. And we're going to click Add to create a new questionnaire. Now, let's assume we have a construction dispute where a builder hired a contractor to build an apartment building. It was delayed by a year, let's say because of COVID, and the builder is now losing money and wants to get some kind of compensation from the builder. So we'll create a questionnaire. We'll call it construction kind of questionnaire. And now we will click the AI assistant. And then we will just clear this out. Now we'll create some questions using the AI assistant for this type of construction dispute. So let me just put something in here. So the questions will be for a building owner and then who claims the contractor delays caused a major revenue loss and for a mediation. So that's kind of the what we're asking the AI assistant to do, to create a set of questions for this type of dispute. So let's click on the AI assistant and see what it comes up with. Takes a little bit. The system is pretty busy, but here's a set of questions. So here's an example. What's the estimated amount of revenue loss due to the contract? This sounds like a good question we might want to add to a questionnaire. What's the timeline of the delays? What steps were taken to resolve the delays? Good question. What's the contractual agreement with the contractor? What's the estimated cost of the delays? What's the impact on the project in general? What measures have been taken to mitigate it? And let's just say we'll add this. What is the estimated cost of the project in general? So by clicking the Add button, you see we've created a set of questions to begin our understanding of the context of the problem. And what happens in the next level system is you create the questionnaire, and I will close this for a second. We'll give it a name, contractor problem questionnaire, and then we will save it. So once we've done that, we can attach this questionnaire to a mediation, and this will essentially, when the parties log into the system, they'll answer these questions. So that's one example of how to use the AI system within mediation process. Now, in addition to that, we want to understand, and what Next Level does is uses methodologies from decision science to help people understand their real objectives through that cloud of emotion by making people quantitative about their priorities. So in this case, we want to create a priority model, a set of objectives that makes sense for this kind of dispute. So we'll click Add. We'll say it again, this is in the construction category. These are maybe we call them objectives for construction problem. You can give it any name you want. We'll give it a description, and the goal is to find the best solution to construction dispute. Okay, now we have to add some criteria to help make this decision. So we'll go to our AI assistants. And now we're going to ask it, suggest some typical objectives for, let's say, a delayed construction dispute. And let's see what it comes up with. Okay. All right. So these don't really look, in this first case, too many objectives that make sense. But yes, one of them could be minimize future disputes. We want, that might be a good objective. So we're going to add this in, and there'll be a scale to measure this on. It'll be an important scale. And now let's make this a little more specific. We'll say a building owner lost money because of a delayed dispute. Let's see. The AI system will parse it. And now we have, well, one of the objectives might be to improve contract management. That makes sense. We'll add that as a criteria. And maybe an objective is really to reduce the cost, but let's see if we can get something else. Because of a builder delaying a project, maybe. We'll try one more time and see what else the AI system can come up with. So here's an objective, secure some form of financial compensation. We'll add that in as an objective. That makes sense. And let's just say this, we want to set for the next time some clear guidelines. That also makes sense. We'll add those. And now we can save this as a model for our mediation. So when it comes time to do the mediation, of course, we'll create a new mediation in the system. We're going to name it just test construction. Test construction. We're not going to spend much time writing these things out. Of course, you would want to make these make more sense. It's in the construction category. We might have add the questionnaire. I forget which one we used. Maybe it was probably this one. And then let me see. So we want to double check, yes. And then we'll go to the next one. And then we'll add our model, which was objectives for a construction problem. We'll add some participants. We'll just make these up at the moment. We'll just use party A as an example. And then the other disputing party, we'll call them party B. And we create the mediation. Oops. Let me go back and make sure we've got everything in there. That makes sense. We didn't do it for party B, but we can go back and edit. So now the objectives, the way this works, the party A would log in and he's going to be asked to do these pairwise comparisons. So in this case, which is more important, minimizing future disputes or improve contract management? Well, let's just say improve contract management. The system will go through each of these in order to calculate a priority. We'll just keep going through here, just randomly improve contract management, secure finalization. That's very important for me. Do that. And the system now will tell the mediator what the actual priorities are. And so in general, those can then be added to a negotiation, and an online negotiation can happen, and you can come to some kind of conclusion. The basic idea here is to use the AI system to improve, assist, and augment the skills of the mediator in creating questionnaires and building these simple pairwise priority models.